Hi, welcome to Thatssotrishy. My passion is trying to encourage women, especially over 40, that our life is not over 40. We talk about all kinds of things: beauty, health, fashion, motivation. And today, and the next couple of videos, is kind of a different topic. Traveling. Do you like to travel? I love to travel. The world is opening up again. So if you like to travel, especially by air, I have 10 of my best tips for you. So I'm a brand new empty nester for the final time. I raised 3 children and it was absolutely the best time of my life. But to everything, seasons turn. And I found myself a few months ago with my 2 babies, 22 and 23, moving across the country in different locations, one on the West Coast, one in the South. And that left me with a lot more time than I used to have. And I have always loved to travel. I travel a lot. And so now I have more freedom to travel. So I want to encourage women, over 40 especially, to celebrate the things that we now can do. So I travel probably 5 to 6 times a year, airplane flight trips and more by car. But today's video, I want to give you my top 10 tips, that's super hard to say, on flying by air. So I hope that you will subscribe and come back, because the next couple of videos we're going to touch more on traveling. And finally, I'll be doing a video that I've been preparing for a while, and I've had some sneak peeks on my Instagram. If you want to go check it out, it's Thatssotrishy, and also my TikTok, Thatssotrishy, the ultimate beach wardrobe and how to pack for it. So that's coming up, so be sure and subscribe. But let's get into today's video. My number 1 top tip for airline trips is TSA PreCheck. Have you heard of it? If you haven't, basically you can get screened beforehand and you can go through those pre-TSA check lines. And have you ever noticed the lines? Yeah, they're like super quick. I was looking up some of this information to make sure my recollection was correct. And what I found from the last year or two is 99% of people with TSA PreCheck wait 5 minutes. And when you're trying to make it to your airplane gate and your trip, we're stressed enough, right? It is a little stressful to travel. If you have TSA PreCheck, it makes it so much easier. Besides generally having a super short wait, guess what you don't have to do? You don't have to take your shoes off, which is a biggie for me because that always creeped me out. If you don't have pre-check, I always put little booties, like little booty socks, in the top of my carry-on or personal care item so I could slip them on and off really quick, but still, it's kind of a hassle. So pre-check, no taking off your shoes, no taking off your belt, no taking off your jacket, no taking your laptop out of your suitcase or carry-on, and no having to get out your liquids. That is huge. And I gotta be honest, I don't always even put my small liquids in a little quart-sized bag anymore. I put them in my little personal item luggage carrier that goes inside my carry-on. I was showing you that in some of the next videos. It has clear through it so they can see it. I might get called out on it sometime, but they've never even asked me with TSA PreCheck to get that out. Another great thing is children 12 and under can accompany you in the pre-check line if you have it. So say you and your husband get it and you have your 3 kids, you don't have to buy it for them. You just have to buy it for you and yourself, and your kiddos can come with you. Super easy, because, you know, let's face it, we don't want our little ones or grandkids, anybody little with us, we don't want them having to take off their shoes, and oh my gosh, it's rough enough getting through the lines. I remember years ago taking my babies, they were like 5, 6, and 12, to Disney World, and we stood in line at MCA, Orlando International Airport. We stood in line for over an hour through security, and I was a single mom, so yeah, that was fun. So Trish, I'm intrigued. Tell me a little bit more about PreCheck. All right, it costs $85, and it's good for 5 years. Guys, that's $17 a year. It is so worth it. When they tell you to get to the airport 2 hours ahead, you still want to get there early to be safe, but you honestly, it has cut my getting to the airport time and waiting time like way over in half. All right, how do I get it? You can go online and search TSA PreCheck. It'll give you the application. I had to go to a local town not too far from me and do a thumbprint and a background check. It literally took 10 minutes, and everything is cost inclusive for your $85. You don't pay TSA 85 and then have to pay for that. It's just one $85 fee. So it makes a great gift. Last thing on my number one tip, which is huge, I gave you the best one at the beginning, is make sure that you're entering it every time, and make sure on your boarding pass it says pre-check. If you fly 1 to 2 times a year at least, and I fly usually 5 to 6 times a year, I would not travel without TSA PreCheck. Travel tip number 2, booking. There are a few tips and tricks to booking. Typically, they say the best day of the week to book is Tuesday. It seems for some reason a lot of the flights are cheaper on Tuesday, and your time window can vary, but typically 4 to 6 weeks out. If you book way in advance, the prices are not usually their lowest, and if you wait to the last few weeks, the prices are usually the highest. So typically 4 to 6 weeks out. There's also a trick on what days to fly on. Typically Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday are your cheapest days to fly. I believe Fridays and Sundays were your most expensive. So when you're going online to book, you can usually open up the whole month calendar and you can see your fares for every day. So having flexible dates to book is gonna definitely save you some money. You also wanna avoid high peak traveling times. My husband and I have a little place in Southwest Florida, and we know that if we wait close to Christmas, Thanksgiving, it's gonna be sky high. So we typically go down on my birthday, which is the first week of December, and the cheapest we have ever got was we both flew a couple years ago for $100 round trip, both of us. So you can find some amazing deals. You get closer to Christmas and it skyrockets. So be mindful of when you're wanting to travel, and if you are flexible on your dates, you can save some dough. Last thought when you're booking. If you're making connecting flights, book them together. If you book them separately, you often will not have your bags carry through if you checked bags. Now, I'm a big believer in if I can just do carry-on or personal item only, and we'll talk about that, that's what I do. But if you really have a lot to bring and have things you need to pack, book your trip together. Say you're going to use United. Say you want to use a regional plane first. In my area, we have a great airline, Cape Air. I have flown them over 30 times. I love them. They fly us to the nearest city to us, and the flights are $29 to $59. It so beats driving a few hours, paying for parking. I can get there in way reduced time, so much easier. But I've learned if I book that and then book maybe Southwest separately, my bags won't carry through. If you get on your site and put in the town that you're leaving from, where the regional airline is, to your ultimate destination, a lot of times you can book it straight through the major airlines, and they have agreement deals with the smaller airlines. So just something to be mindful of. Airline trip tip number 3. This is probably second to TSA PreCheck, my biggest, most important tip. Master using the personal item. Now, if you're not familiar with flying, you may be going, what's a personal item? Well, most people think of a personal item as their purse, a coat, a jacket, that type of thing. A personal item can be a small suitcase, and you get to use that free. Every airline, I do not know of an exception. If it fits, you can take it free. That's where some of the cheaper airlines get you. If you don't know about the personal item, they continually try to get you to upgrade, and maybe you didn't have to if you're only packing a few things. So if you're taking a small trip, a weekend trip, you're a great packer, which I'm going to go over in some of my next upcoming videos, how to pack and make this easy. You can save thousands of dollars over time using the personal item. So let me show you my personal item. I I'm going to give you some other shots in a minute so you can see it better. But this is my personal item suitcase that I have had for 5 years. I got this off of Amazon. It's made by a company called B&B, and I can tell you that a lot of the airlines are familiar with this brand, and so when they see this, I've never been given any hassle about this. Basically, it has to fit under the seat. I'm going to show you a shot of, I just flew to LA on Southwest and back just a week ago, and I'll show you a picture of my feet. And there is so much room on Southwest for this personal item. But an airline I'm getting ready to talk about in a minute, Allegiant, I fly Allegiant probably more than any airline. It fits perfectly for Allegiant. You can get so much in here if you pack wisely. The top of mine has a little area, has a zipper where you can, oh, I still have stuff from my trip. I have my gum, I have my portable battery charger. When I wasn't TSA PreCheck, I used to put little booties up here so I could grab them real quick in the security line. It has a front pocket where I usually put my empty water bottle with a filter so I can save money. I usually put my cell phone in here that I have my wallet on. And on the inside, you have several pockets and you have plenty of room to pack for a weekend. So if you want to save money and not buy carry-on or check bags, your personal item is key. Be mindful because there's slightly different measurements with different airlines. If you want something to carry like your personal purse items on, take a clutch, whatever kind of clutch you like. This is my favorite clutch. Stick that in your personal item bag so you still have a purse when you're on your trip, but use your personal item wisely. Don't carry a big old purse. Use it as a suitcase. Tip number 4. I just touched on this. My favorite airline, hands down, is Allegiant. And I have seen discussions on the internet, on social media, where people have ripped Allegiant up and down. Well, I can tell you, I have flown on Allegiant probably at least 4 times a year for the last 5 years, and I have never had a bad experience on Allegiant ever. I think my plane has been delayed twice. There may be a little bit smaller legroom, I will admit, and maybe a little more padding on Southwest, but generally the flights are so less expensive. But a couple things about Allegiant, to be fair. They make their money a lot of times on trying to add fees. They might try to get you to pay to sit together. Don't do it. Out of all the flights I've had on Allegiant, if you check in soon enough, you generally will get seats by the person you're flying with. The only time I haven't got to sit with my husband, I waited a little bit, I forgot to check in, and he sat right in front of me. And Allegiant works best, I feel, if you're going on a short trip. If you're going on a trip where you have to do a lot of check bags, it may not be the deal for you. But if you can master the personal item like I talked about, we save thousands, literally thousands of dollars. Another thing I love about Allegiant is their smaller airports. There's usually free parking or a lot cheaper parking. You can get in and out of that airport so much easier. You also want to save some money, bring your own snacks. A lot of people get confused about what you can and cannot bring on a plane. You can absolutely bring snacks that aren't opened on your personal item or carry-on. We forgot one trip and we purchased the Lay's potato chips, I think it was, on Allegiant, and they were $5 a bag. And you guys know you can get them for sometimes 50 cents at Walmart or $1 at the Dollar Tree. So bring your own snacks. You can't bring your own liquids, but you can bring your own snacks. Number 5, my best travel tips for flying by air is use loyalty cards. Find out which airline works for you, and if you're like me and there's an airline that just works and you're going to fly that predominantly, get their card. If you're flying enough, it's worth it. We have an Allegiant card. It's a $59 a year fee. I wish it wasn't that, but I've calculated and I have well saved over that every year. You can get points. I don't use my credit cards for everything, but throughout the year I will do some big purchases with them, and every trip I've taken I have saved $20 to $50 on my Allegiant airfare because of my points from my card. The other thing is most of these loyalty airline cards come with some big whopper initial bonuses. For Allegiant, they give you 15,000 bonus points right off the bat, and that's equivalent to $150 of free travel. I used that within the first month of getting my card 5 years ago. They also have a really great thing if you travel a lot. If you buy an airplane ticket and you book 4 days of a hotel on the Allegiant site, then you can get a companion airline ticket free. And that you can use more than once. So that's a great deal if you use hotels a lot. You also can use that deal for rental cars. If you're going to rent a car for 7 or more days. So if you book your Allegiant ticket, you book 7 days of a rental car, your companion gets to go on the flight free for having the Allegiant card. Pretty darn good deal. Also, they send you email specials all the time. So my last Allegiant trip, there was a $50 off airfare. It lasted for a week. You had to be an Allegiant card holder. So I used that. I had $20 of points on my Allegiant card. Lastly, it's not that huge of a deal, but we enjoy the convenience. If you're an Allegiant card member, you get priority boarding. Now, it is reserved seating, but we like to just get on the plane and get our seats and get comfortable and relax. You also get a free drink, which again may not seem like a lot, but I've already packed my snacks. So when I get on the plane, if I show my Allegiant card, they give us a free drink. And if you have one account, get 2 cards. You can get 2 cards free, one for your spouse. So my husband has one on my account, and so then we get 2 free drinks. But it adds up for us flying 5 times a year. Now, Allegiant is certainly not the only loyalty card to use. Southwest has a great one. They also have credit cards that work for multiple airlines. I think American Express has a great one, Citibank. So get online and Google which credit cards have the most points. You can save so much money on your travel using points. Tip number 6. I talked about my favorite small airline being Allegiant. My favorite larger airline has to be Southwest still. Although I do fly Allegiant more often, Southwest is my backup. If I'm going on a longer trip and I have a lot of things to pack, you can't beat Southwest. You get 2 free checked bags, plus your carry-on, plus your personal item. Even for a girl like me who carries lots of shoes, you can get a great deal on travel with all those free baggage perks. They also have a rapid rewards program that you don't have to have their credit card, and they log your miles and you get a free trip after so many miles. You have open seating, so whereas a lot of the other ones have assigned seating, Southwest has open seating. You either love that or hate that. I heard a lot of people online a couple days ago saying, I love that. I personally don't like that. To me, it's like a cattle call and everybody's racing for the seat. I'd rather just know I'm going to be sitting in seat 32. The key is checking into your trip exactly 24 hours before. So I recommend setting your alarm on your phone about 10 minutes before you're supposed to check in so you can get everything pulled up, have all your confirmation numbers ready, and when the moment it says you're available to check in, you check in. Now, my last 2 trips on Southwest were in the last month or so to Dallas and to LA, and I checked in exactly when the 24 hours was ready, and I got seating group B. So they have seating groups A, B, and C. So I was able to get a window seat or a aisle seat as long as you are up on when it's 24 hours. Another thing I love about Southwest is they have free texting. They have internet that you can use to text. You can be texting everybody, which I thought was quite funny because I like to talk, I like to text, and I know my family probably thought they were going to get a break while I was flying 4 hours to LA a couple weeks ago. But no, I was texting and they're like, are you in the air? Yeah, free texting. They also have free movies, so don't forget your headphones. And if you want just general internet, you can purchase it for $8. Travel tip number 7, before you fly. Couple things, we just talked about it. You want to check in online 24 hours before. Most people use digital boarding passes nowadays. It's so much faster, so much easier. You don't have to wait to go to the counter. You can just check in online, so find out your airline usually has an app. And then when you check in, it's going to give you a digital boarding pass. Walk up and scan it, and they know you're there. And mine would say TSA PreCheck. Make sure that it says that. You want to make sure that you have that digital boarding pass ready. You want to make sure your phone is charged. And I always screenshot it and send it to my husband for both of us, just in case something was to happen. I lost my phone went dead, my phone broke. one of us has both of our boarding passes. Now this is gonna sound kind of nerdy and I didn't grab it with me. I typically do not like this, but for traveling, I would recommend, if you wear reading glasses like me, I would recommend getting the chain to put your glasses on. Yeah, you may feel like a senior citizen, but when you're trying to get through these airports and board and not lose your stuff, it just keeps it so much handier and less to lose if you can put your glasses on a chain. I'll link some in the description box for you. Another consideration, you will either hate this or love it. I always have my wallet on the back of my phone. Some people may be scared to do that, but my phone is always with me and I guard add a little additional hook to hold it. It can also prop it up, but mine has the technology so somebody can't just scan through it. It protects it. I love the convenience at the airport of scanning and showing them my driver's license. I'm not fumbling trying to get things in and out of pockets. So just something maybe to consider, and I'll link that as well in the description box. The day of your flight. You want to look up parking before you get there. You want to look up and see what terminal you're at. Different airports have different terminals and different entrances. Lambert in St. Louis I fly out of quite frequently. Southwest is Terminal 2. It's the only airline on Terminal 2. All the rest are at Terminal 1. So knowing that ahead of time is going to expedite your time getting there. Also, you want to know what gate you're going to. As soon as you walk into the airport, you're going to need to go through security pretty quick. And then as soon as you get through security, you're going to head to your gate. That's going to be on your digital boarding pass. We already talked about putting a clutch into your personal item. So when you get on the airplane, you can pull out that clutch and set it in the seat next to you. I always carry a cough drop. I don't cough a lot, but there's nothing worse than being on a plane and having a coughing fit. And especially with the pandemic, you do not want to be coughing even with your mask on. So I always carry gum, a cough drop, chapstick or lipstick, my glasses, and my phone, and a couple dollars in my little clutch that goes into my personal item. Sometimes I put a little thing of Kleenex in there. So those things that you just want to have at hand and you don't want to have to be eating up in the carry-on, trying to lean underneath the seat in front of you to find stuff. As soon as you sit down, pull this out, slide it to your side, and you're good to go for the rest of the trip. Headphones. I also put my headphones in here as well. So stashing what you need in your clutch. Grab your snacks when you get on the plane and stick them in that little, there's usually a little netting holder. You can stick your snacks in there, your clutch if you want, and I also stick antibacterial small little package wipes so I can wipe everything down. And I'm going to talk in the next video about how to dress and pack for the optimum savings and ease for travel, but I'm going to go ahead and mention it now. Something that I do is I wear a cape. Do you need to be a superhero? Why, yes, I do. No, I'm kidding. If you wear a cape, like a cape type coat, this can serve so many functions on the airplane. This particular one is cute. It has a little ruffle on the edge. It's just kind of made out of that material like a blanket, but I don't have to pack it, so I'm saving room in my cases. And then when I get on the airplane, if you're cold like me, it's a blanket. So I just think it makes so much sense. You don't have to pack a blanket. You're wearing your blanket, but you're still looking stylish. And you're a superhero in your cape, so don't forget your cape. If you can handle not getting overheated, I am always cold, so I do layers. So when I travel, I generally wear a camisole or a t-shirt with a jacket. Sometimes I'll wear a tank with a t-shirt and a jacket. So wear some of the things that you would pack. And then I can use the t-shirt or the camisole later with a pair of jeans and shorts, but it also makes up for my travel outfit. Sometimes I wear the exact same outfit when I fly back, or sometimes I will just switch out the cami or tank underneath the jacket. So it just makes it really efficient, and you stay warm and you don't get charged for carrying 2 or 3 things. You're wearing them. Number 9, we are almost done. Rental cars. Couple tips for you. You want to book your rental cars in advance. Don't ever show up at the airport and try to rent a car. When you rent cars, don't be fooled by paying for extra insurance. Your car insurance will cover that car. You want to book in advance, and if you can prepay, you usually get a discount. Also, there are discounts available. Never rent a car without using a discount. If you're not sure where to get a discount, you can Google coupon codes, Or look at your credit card perks. I find so many of us have credit cards and we forget that they have perks. Some of your credit cards will pay for you to get TSA PreCheck. They'll give that as one of your perks, so check on that. But for me, our Discover card and our Amazon account gives us discounts on rental cars. So I always enter in budget. I use budget a lot for rental cars, and I use my Amazon code. It saves me money, and they send me, it's about a $10 Amazon gift card for each way that I rent. So when we go to Southwest Florida, I rent 2 ways, and I usually get $20 worth of Amazon gift cards, which I use all the time. My last tip for your rental car is, say you only want a rental car to and from the airport. Do you have to rent it for your whole trip, the 5 days? Maybe you are going somewhere that you don't need a car. We have a car down in Southwest Florida. Maybe you're going somewhere where there's family, but you need a car from the airport to your destination. I always rent one way, and you have to enter that specifically in the rental car agreement. You need to rent that for 24 hours. I found if you rent it for only the time you need it, which I would only need it for like an hour or two, it's going to cost you a lot more than if you actually rent it for 24 hours. So we rent it, drive to our house in Naples. The next morning, we take that extra car back to the local budget dealer, and vice versa. So we save a lot of money that way. My travel tip number 10. We have come to the end, guys. So if you've found this video useful so far, would you consider giving it a thumbs up? That really helps YouTubers like me if you just click the like button, and consider subscribing, because like I said, we talk about so many things to try to make our life the happiest it can be after 40. Honestly, it's the longest period of our life, so why shouldn't it be happy? And we talk about all kinds of things: lifestyle, beauty, motivation, and fashion. So if you'll consider subscribing, give it a like, I would greatly appreciate it. So on to the finale. Tip number 10. Are you overwhelmed by all the 1 through 9? You don't want to handle all this yourself. You're like, I just want somebody to do it for me. I personally love the chase of finding the deal. I love booking my stuff. I love keeping everything organized. Some people hate that. So if that is you, I want to recommend a great alternative. My best friend is what I would consider the Disney diva. She has been to Disney more times than I can even count. She knows everything, all things Disney, because she has stayed at Disney, she's stayed off Disney, she's done it all. Now, she can help you with your travel anywhere. She told me she just booked a couple for Jamaica. She does all kinds of vacations, but especially if you're wanting Disney, I highly recommend my friend Kim. You can contact her in the description box below. Her company is called Uncle Monkey Travel, and they can do all of it for you. They can do the flights. They can do the transportation. If you're going to Disney, they can do the tickets. They can do the fast pass. They can do your dining cards. The whole shebang. And also, like I said, trips to getaways like Jamaica or Sandals resorts. You might want to check in just having her do it. It's great prices. It's great rates. They find the ultimate deals for you. And you can just sit back and have them tell you what you need to know, and you can take off and go. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for stopping by Thatssotrishy. It was a little bit different one today, but I've been traveling and I was hoping that I could help you travel as well to your dream destination. Bye-bye. Trying to, but you have a lot of questions about travel. Airfare, oh, my blonde is showing.